And while we're resting, we are going to get into a little bit more shoulder anatomy. So with regard to the shoulder anatomy, what specifically are we training right here? Well, depending on the positioning of your elbows, that's going to dictate which muscles are primarily being trained. Whenever we are doing any type of vertical or horizontal pulling and the elbows are tucked in, we are working on shoulder extension. So when we are working on shoulder extension, we're primarily going to be working on the latissimus dorsi muscle, the teres major, the posterior deltoid, and the long head of the triceps brachii. So that is going to be what is involved when you are working with the elbows tucked in, as opposed to the elbows being tucked out. I'm going to get into those later on during the other sets, but for now, that's what exactly we're working right here. And while we're resting, we are going to get into a little bit more shoulder anatomy and specifically the muscles training during this exercise. Because I am focusing on shoulder adduction, abduction, the primary muscles that I'm going to be targeting are going to be the latissimus dorsi muscle, the sternal attachment of the pectoralis major, the teres major, and the coracobrachialis. So if you are doing some type of pulling exercise, such as a pronated grip pull down, those are going to be the muscles that you are working on. If you are doing a close grip chin up or anything where the elbows are tucked in, where you're focusing on extension, you're going to be training all of the muscles that I mentioned previously. And while we're resting, we're going to get into a little bit more shoulder anatomy and talk about the muscles that we are training when we are performing this exercise. Because we are focusing on horizontal abduction, abduction, we are going to primarily be focusing on the posterior deltoid, the teres minor, and the infraspinatus. So pretty much the same motion, the same muscles as we were doing for the external shoulder rotators. Those are the muscles specifically at the glenohumeral joint. At the scapula, we're also going to be focusing on the scapular retractors like the rhomboids major and minor, the middle trapezius. And if you are focusing on depressing the scapula, we're also going to be focusing on things like the inferior trapezius, the latissimus dorsi, all of those great muscles that are going to help stabilize the shoulder. But those are going to be the most important muscles that we are focusing on when we are performing this specific exercise. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. Be sure to like, share, and leave a comment as it'll help the algorithm. And if you enjoyed the content, show your support by subscribing to the channel by clicking on the icon in the bottom right corner. And if you really want to show your support, then consider becoming a member by clicking on the icon in the bottom left corner. These new high-quality videos aren't cheap to edit, and the $5 membership will really help with the video editing budget. You'll also get access to a ton of exclusive perks like early access to videos and this program design lecture playlist in the top right-hand corner. And if you want to learn how to do a one-armed pull-up, then check out the playlist on the top left corner.